Wealth Our Way Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. 15 minutes of finance. What do when you're starting from the mud with less than zero? No plan, no role model, no hero. Take to the streets, bring heat like De Niro, or tune in the wild, the network, the thorough. If it was me, I'd sit down with a pad and a pen. Hit my homie Shitty's thought with a friend. Tank is spitting real knowledge from beginning to end. 15 minutes, Wealth Our Way, let the lesson begin. Yeah, 15 minutes of finance with your man Big Tank. Let's get it. What's going on, my people? It's your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder, chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to our latest episode of 15 Minutes of Finance, how to go on vacation without going broke. Just got back from overseas in London, England. And before that, I was on the Tom Joyner cruise. I've been vacationing my butt off because, as y'all may know, it's the month of Tank. You know, June 4th was my birthday. I'm going to celebrate it all month long. But I want to make sure that not only I don't go broke while I'm doing it, but I want to make sure as we approach the summer season, everyone wants to hit the shore, hit the ski slopes. If you're in a tropical area, you want to hit the beach. You know, all over the globe, it's just various things. And when you do these things, you want to make sure you do not go broke. So we're going to start today's segment like we always do with go or no go. And today's go or no go fits the vacation theme. I actually got it a little while ago and was saving it for this particular episode. Let's just talk about the concept that this person brought up in their go or no go. They want to go to Disney World. They want to take their kids. They have 2 young children. They did not budget for the trip at all, have no cash right now for the trip, plan on putting the cost of the trip to Disney World on their credit cards. Now, they do have a little saving grace. They get a Christmas bonus every December, and they say it's a pretty nice bonus. They expect the size of the bonus to cover the cost of the trip. But once again, it's 6 months from now. They want to go on a trip. I want to say end of June, early July, and they're not going to get the money until December. So I'm going to surprise you guys here. Here's my thought. First of all, I love traveling. Traveling is something that adds value to your life. Seeing things outside of your immediate area gives you an understanding that the world is a very big, expansive place, more people, more different traditions, different languages, more things than you would normally encounter if you didn't travel. So I'm a proponent of traveling, and everything worth doing comes at a cost. So what I would tell this person is, here's the problem that I have with people when they earmark future money for a current expense. There's going to be a bunch of other expenses that come up between now and Christmas, and we need you not to spend your Christmas bonus 5 times on 4 other things other than the travel, stating, oh, I got it. I got the Christmas bonus coming. If you know for a fact that you're going to allocate this Christmas bonus to cover the cost of the trip, now all we got to do is budget for the trip. The first thing, and we're going to talk about this later in the show, ways to travel at a little bit less of a price barrier, but you price out Disney World, cost of the tickets, cost of travel, cost of lodging, cost of food while you're there, cost of tolls. You get that number. Make sure you have a credit card that you can utilize to cover these costs, preferably one that doesn't take you over 30% of your usage rates. And then you can look at what that cost is going to be in terms of interest. Let's just throw a number out there and say that this person's trip to Disney is going to cost them $4,000. Well, if they have a credit card that charges them 20% interest on a whole year of having $4,000 on the card, you would be looking at $800 of interest. Well, we're only going to have it on there for half a year. So we'd be looking at roughly $400 of interest. Now this $4,000 trip is $4,400. The Christmas bonus coming in $5,000-6,000 covers that. I say, do not deprive yourself or your children of a wonderful travel experience when you know you can afford it by paying it with the Christmas bonus, so long as you don't over allocate the Christmas bonus. So for this segment of Go or No Go, I vote go. I'm getting used to go. I like go. I hate telling people no, but sometimes the financial asks just don't meet the financial budget, and we got to say no go. But today, I'm happy to say, put your kids in the car, on the plane, whatever way you're going to do it, and get down to Disney and tell Mickey Big Tank said hi. I did Disney World quite a few times with my kids. It's a memorable experience. Getting into today's topic, how you can vacation without going broke. I got to tell you, I just got back from London. Beautiful. I caught some of the best weather London has to offer. I was reminded of that many, many times by the locals telling me, here you go. You came at the best time of year. We normally don't get a whole week of no rain, great weather. It was around 28 degrees Celsius, which is about, I want to say 74, 75, sunny, slight breeze, perfect weather. It was expensive. It was expensive because the dollar isn't as strong as the pound. So I think I was getting 80 cents on my dollar, something to that effect. And then also, I stayed in the high rent district. I stayed at the Jumeirah, which is the United Arab Emirates brand of hotel. That big 7-star hotel you see in the United Arab Emirates is part of this brand. It's an amazing brand. They only stay in the finest sections of the cities that they choose to locate in. And I was in Lounge Square. It was just amazing. Everything about it. I ate at a Michelin star restaurant called Amaya. Best Indian food I've ever had in my life. Just had a great time. It broke my pockets. I went over the budget, especially after I ended up hitting Harrods, great department store. Bought Mama some Christian Louboutins or Louboutins, however you pronounce it, whatever it is. It costs too much money. And I want to tell you, when I look back on my vacation, I see a couple of areas that I could tweak to make it just as memorable, just as exciting, just as awesome, but not as harsh on my pocket. And that's what I want to convey to you guys today through the lessons that I've learned in my various travels. When you are looking to vacation, the first thing you want to realize is, like everything else we talk about on 15 Minutes of Finance, you have to set a budget for your vacation. Not just should you have a budget for a particular vacation, but when we do budgets here at Wealth Our Way, our clients have a category called travel. And in that category of travel, they allocate 2, 3, 6% of their gross income to travel. So they know what they can afford for vacations in the course of a year. If you're allocating 4% of your annual monies to traveling and you make $250,000, what's that? 10 grand? 10 grand a year can be budgeted for travel. So you have to do what's best for your pocket, but also make sure that you're enjoying the travel you take. Nothing worse than going on a trip, having to compromise some, what do they call it, non-negotiables, things that you would rather not compromise. Let's say, for instance, you like being by yourself. You do a group tour, you're not going to be happy just because you saved money. But let's also say you're the type of person that doesn't care where you eat. Then don't budget a lot of the money on your vacation for high-end restaurants. You can get groceries or eat wherever you wish to eat, which brings me to today's 3 tips. What I want to say about the 3 tips today is I'm going to go over several different ways to make vacationing economically feasible while not compromising any of your enjoyment. Tip 1, the internet is your friend. I used a travel agent to go on this trip. I have a friend, longtime buddy of mine. He has a high-end travel agency. He wanted me to try it out. He gave me a really good deal on his services. And I had an amazing time, and everything he planned for me was 5-star. But, I'm going to say but, that's something that I can do, that I choose to do. However, the internet can give you accessibility to almost anything that someone else can find on your behalf. I like to pay for convenience. You have all types of people out here who sell services. I sell a service. Truthfully, it's not hard to manage your own finances, but people would rather not do it. So they pay people like me to do it. I can do my own taxes, but I pay a CPA. I could have went online and found good places to stay, ways to get there, places to eat. I got a lot of friends. I have social media. Although I did put a post asking anybody for the ideal pub in London, England, and literally got 0 responses from my peoples. Y'all sold me out. But in any event, you can Google. When I got to London, because I didn't have a pub suggested to me by my travel agent, I Googled I asked the cab drivers, and I found an amazing pub called Bunch of Grapes down the street from Harrods. Amazing, 7-story department store. It's the most insane department store I've ever seen. I'm sure there are some other ones, but that one was ridiculous. And I learned that by doing internet searches, do not be shy on seeking out information online. Tip 2, the thing about traveling is you have to choose the appropriate travel method. Now, this is one of the things that hurt Big Tank when he was traveling with his youngins. I have 6 children. My children always wanted to bring a friend. If we had to go anywhere where we had to fly, we had to spend so much money on airline tickets. In a perfect world, I would have driven everywhere with my kids because I had such a big family. Conversely, if you have a small family, jump in the car, or jump on the plane. It's going to maybe be cheaper to get a plane ticket than to have to put wear and tear on your car and pay for gas. Tip 3, think outside the box. We have all types of things such as Groupon. We have, here's something that I think is really going to be big as we move forward. Travel with friends. Just like every other cost in life, there are variable costs and fixed costs. If you're going to travel with 3 other groups, parents that have kids, things of that nature, you can get a big SUV or a Sprinter van, all share the cost of gas in the car, divided amongst 3 families. You can get a house as opposed to a hotel. You can buy your groceries as opposed to dining out or ordering room service. You can bring, videos to watch as opposed to ordering them off the TV at your hotel. There are so many ways to spread out costs if you think outside the box. If you just go with the standard ease of, I'm going to the hotel, I'll eat room service there, I'm a fly, then your cost is going to be your cost. But if you start to look at different ways to travel, Airbnb, Vrbo, renting out houses that you find online, a lot cheaper, especially if you have a big group, than staying at a hotel. Any dollar you save in one section of your trip is a dollar you can allocate to another section of your trip. I know when I go back to London, I went to Stonehenge. I paid $1,200 for a tour that took me to Stonehenge and then to the city of Bath. I would never do that again. I would rent a car and drive to Stonehenge, drive to Bath, save so much money. I think I paid £400 over the course of the week in Ubers. I would have rented a car, but they drive on the wrong side of the road over there, or they say we drive on the wrong side of the road. It could have got crazy. I'm very happy with my choice of how I traveled, but please keep in mind the other thing, that the last part I'll say before I leave you guys, is look at off-season traveling. Go places that typically don't have high tourists because it may be slightly hot that time of year, or it rains that type of year, but you don't really do outside activity. Whatever can give you the edge on savings, implement that into your travel plan. With that being said, I am so happy to be back stateside. I'm looking forward to next week's 15 Minutes of Finance. And happy Pride Month, everybody. Remember to always stay inclusive, supportive of everybody, whether they have differences of yours or not. Love everybody. With that being said, remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. You guys take care. Thanks for tuning in to the Wild Network. For more great content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Wealth Our Way Network. Also, don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.